Tomorrow, on November 29th, Toronto Raptors guard Terence Davis's $1.5 million salary is guaranteed for next season, which means today is the decision day for the Toronto Raptors and how they want to handle this situation. Let's get into it. Welcome to Amateur Sports, where we are just coming off hitting 1,000 subscribers on the channel. Thank you so much to everybody who has been pouring on the support over the last week. I'm very grateful for everybody who did hit that subscribe button and join the movement of the channel. Anybody who's new, if you're new to me and you like what you see, you want more of myself talking about the Toronto Raptors in videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as stay up to date with that content. But today we're talking about Terence Davis yet again. It seems like today will be the last time we have to discuss this topic because his money is guaranteed on his contract as of tomorrow, which means the Raptors need to make a decision on how they want to handle these assault allegations against Terence Davis. Now, Terence Davis has been with the Raptors camp over the last week or so it looks like the decision may already be made. They may not be looking to cut this guy after all. I thought as soon as the allegations came out, the Raptors would not want that kind of image on their organization, regardless of whether or not he was proven guilty. But it seems like the Raptors are going to hear out the case and see what comes of it. And maybe that $1.5 million risk for a player who was all rookie second team was a risk worth taking. I personally not really in agreement with this. I think the Raptors have done a great job in, giving themselves this image as a progressive organization. However, in this scenario, it seems like they're willing to take the risk for the basketball player. Now, maybe there's information they have that we don't know, but they haven't really addressed the situation as much as I would have liked at this point. They haven't condoned anything about any sort of actions like this. They merely just said, we're looking for more information, we're actively investigating, and we're going to see what comes of it. I don't think that's really good enough on the Raptors' part, but it's the organization's choice to make whatever statement they want to make, and this is a statement they decided to make. Now, this is obviously a controversial topic, and a lot of people are going to have their own opinions on what this is. You can comment your opinion down below, obviously, but when you're listening to this, you're listening to my opinion. My opinion on this matter is this is a bad look for the organization. I think this is definitely a bad look. Obviously, in the Canadian judicial system, you're perceived innocent until proven guilty, but that's the judicial system. That's not the NBA. That's not the Toronto Raptors. When it comes to the organization, you have to look out for your brand. You have to look out for the image of your brand. And how's it going to look on the image of your brand if something like this comes out as guilty and you're paying him $1.5 million a year and maybe he's still playing on your basketball team? That is a very bad look for not just the NBA, but the Toronto Raptors organization specifically. Toronto fans give a lot of heat to the Houston Astros for getting a guy like Roberto Osuna after his assault charges. So this is kind of the same thing. If this comes out as true and we have this guy on our roster, a little bit hypocritical from any sort of Toronto sports fans if that's the case, if it is proven guilty. But again, we're perceiving this guilt here. We're perceiving innocence and we're perceiving that, but we don't know. We simply do not know what's going to happen. However, the image is there. No matter what happens with this court case, the image is there. I'm very surprised the Raptors didn't cut Terence Davis immediately, but maybe they have some information we don't. Maybe they see that he is not guilty. I'm not sure. Regardless of the situation, the Toronto Raptors, it seems like, are deciding to pay this man for the next season. Terence Davis brought a lot of great things to the Toronto Raptors last season as a rookie, which eventually got himself on the all-rookie second team. We know what Terence Davis brings. He's a great player. He's got a very high ceiling, very athletic, can shoot the ball well, good ball handler, can get to the rim. There's a lot of great things about Terence Davis's game. It's just sometimes things are bigger than basketball, and it's unfortunate to see a career like this possibly derail. However, everybody is subject to their own decisions. The decisions that you're made, you're responsible for. So obviously it's a sad scenario, and I don't take pride in my opinion here, talking about wanting to cut Terence Davis, but that's truly how I feel about the matter. And if you think you want to give Terence Davis this opportunity because of how good of a basketball player he is, then that's on you. You can think that. That's completely fine. It's just I'm in the mindset that I wouldn't want that within my organization, no matter how good the player is. Again, some things are bigger than basketball, and this is something that's bigger than basketball, and I just don't think that the Raptors need this image on their team, especially after loading up on guards in the draft. I thought for sure after loading up on Malachi Flynn and Jalen Harris in the draft, getting a very good core of guards, you wouldn't need Terence Davis anymore. I thought they were preparing for the event that they weren't going to have Terence Davis on their team. And after getting great guards in Malachi Flynn and Jalen Harris, I thought that the decision was going to be made. However, it seems like they're going to ride this out. It seems like Terence Davis is going to be a Raptors player for the next season. His court case is, I think, early December. I think it's around December 10th. I'm not sure. We'll see what comes of that. The Toronto Raptors have this guy on their team, and he's proven innocent, then absolutely, I'm going to support this guy as a Toronto Raptor. He's wearing a red jersey. He's playing for Toronto. I'm going to support the guy. But if anything comes of this, like in terms of his guilt, then absolutely you cannot have him on your team. Will not support a player going through a charge like that if he is proven guilty. If he's proven innocent, then we have a completely different story. I'm not perceiving anything here. I'm not saying he's one thing or another. We're merely addressing the facts we have right now. And the facts we have right now is that he's going through an investigation that does not bring a good look towards the NBA and the Toronto Raptors. You have to protect your brand, and I think the Toronto Raptors have not done that. They have not done that. So clearly they see something that we don't in this case. I think Terence Davis is on course to being, a six-man, a very good six-man in the NBA. Maybe for the Toronto Raptors and maybe even a starting shooting guard for some teams. If he stays with the Toronto Raptors, I see him definitely being potential starting shooting guard, but definitely as a six-man. That would make him a great player in the NBA. I see a very high ceiling for this player. It would be a big shame to see him go because I think he could be an integral part of the future of the Toronto Raptors and their success. When they have guys like this, young guys that continue to come in, Malachi Flynn, guys like Terence Davis, guys like OG Anunoby who get better every year, when you have guys like that, you're going to have sustained success over the long term. But if things come up that are just beyond your control, beyond the game, beyond the sport, then decisions need to be made and harsh decisions need to be made. We'll see what comes out of this, but at the moment, it looks like the Toronto Raptors have made the decision. Though they still have time. They still have time over the course of today to decide whether or not they want to keep Terence Davis on their roster. It looks like they're going to keep him, especially if he's been playing with a team, if he's been at the camp. I'm not sure what the mood is around there. I'm not sure what the situation is like within the players, but it seems like with Terence Davis on the team, we have an even greater guard core. And, from a basketball standpoint, that's a good thing to have. He's a great player to have, but, you got to think about the personal things. You got to think about the things beyond the game. Maybe nothing will come of it. We'll see what happens. We all have to wait and see how all of this plays out. The Raptors are clearly not done in this free agency. They just waived Duan Hernandez, their second-round pick from last year. And, maybe that's not something against Duan Hernandez. Maybe they just wanted to open up a roster spot for somebody else to come in. And Terence Davis obviously still on the roster, but clearly there's plans within the organization for building a better team. There's a few guys going to camp. There's some interest in other places. The Toronto Raptors want to build another winning team. And if they think that they can do that with Terence Davis on the team, then so be it. I've always said that I completely have faith in the Raptors management team, in the Raptors coaching staff, in the Raptors ownership to make the right decisions. And if they feel this is the right decision, then maybe it is the right decision. We'll see what comes out of it again, but I always have faith in the Toronto Raptors. They're such a well-run organization. They've done a great job in being a progressive organization over the past. I'm sure they are aware of the current situation. Obviously, they're aware of the current situation. Obviously, they have a team investigating the current situation. But a decision needs to be made, and I think that a statement for the fans is something that is necessary from the Toronto Raptors to address everything, because this is not just something small. This is a big deal for a lot of Raptors fans. Again, the progressive organization, there's a lot of progressive fans following this organization. There's probably going to be a lot of people who are completely opposed to anything I'm saying here and will let me know. But this is how I feel. You're here watching my opinion on the matter, and this is how I feel about this situation. It makes me uncomfortable that no decision has been made as of yet, but maybe the decision is made, and Terence Davis is going to be a Raptor next year. That's all I really have to say on this situation. Not the most upbeat topic, not the thing I really want to be talking about on this channel. I like talking about, new players coming in, possible success for the Raptors in the future. But when you're on a Toronto Raptors channel, you need to talk about something like this because this is a big deal. It is a big deal. Terence Davis's money is guaranteed for next season as of tomorrow. Maybe before this video is out, a decision will be made. Maybe a statement will come out. But from what I know right now, there's no statement, there's no decision. It looks like they're just going to let it run and guarantee his money. Let me know what you think about this situation in the comments down below. Do you support the Raptors letting Terence Davis stay on the roster, or do you think he should have been cut a while ago? I think that, well, honestly, I'm surprised that he hasn't been cut yet, but maybe they know something that we don't. But anyways, let me know your opinions on this in the comments down below. But thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, please like the video if you like, and subscribe to Amateur Sports for more content just like this. NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors at least 4 days a week. We've had a ton of videos coming out over the last couple of weeks, and we've had a ton of support on the channel. Thank you so much to everybody for that. At the end of the day, I believe what I say. If you disagree, that is okay. We'll see you again next time for another video.